Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment of our program brought to you by the good folks at Calhoun's. Right now at all Calhoun's locations, it is their dinner and a movie promotion. If you've gone to a local theater to take in a movie, take your ticket stub on that same day, take the ticket stub straight to Calhoun's, get yourself a free order of boneless wings with your purchase of a meal at Calhoun's. Dinner and a movie, Calhoun's, any of the Calhoun's locations, take your movie stub in there, get yourself some free boneless wings with your purchase of a meal. Calhoun's, a taste of Tennessee, the taste of Tennessee. Quickie segment, fellows. The orange and white game is next Saturday. I simply want to know this. Blank would be a good sign. If we're walking out of there and we've seen blank, that's a good sign. If you're walking out of there and you see blank, ooh, that's a bad sign. Good signs, bad signs, jump at it.
I'll take the good sign right away. A good sign would be some playmakers. I mean, what did this team woefully lack on offense? Was playmakers. You can start at quarterback, you go to receiver. Who is taking that step forward that you know you can count on? And I know everybody's going to say the bad sign, injuries. That to me, that's the number one thing to come out of this game with no injuries.
Agreed. That's issue number one.
Exactly.
If I want to come out with a good sign, I would go, my top three would be tackling. Because I don't think your offense.
No, it's playmakers making plays. So.
Well, I want to see the
That means you're a
playmakers
bad
put on their butt because this team I don't think is going to be very good offensively. If they can tackle, if they can improve your defense, keep you in games, give yourself a chance to make a break. So I think if you can come out and see how well they tackle, and a bad sign is going to be they can't block anybody, and I don't think they're going to be able to block anybody.
Well, I'm going to take off what Mike said there, because one of mine, it would be a good sign if plays are made on both sides of the ball. Here's the thing. I don't think either of these units are going to be smothering. I don't think dominating is what I'm looking for. I don't think either unit's going to be dominating when it comes to the SEC this fall. So if we're walking out of there next Saturday and one side has dominated the other, I think that's a bad look for whatever side got dominated. So to me, you want to see some plays made on both sides of the ball. It would be much better to see some sort of a 28-27 game than 42-0.
Okay, they complete a 10-yard pass, but the guy gets tackled.
Yeah.
Okay.
And see some
Just some playmakers on both sides of the field.
I'll follow. You're right. They're not going to be very good offensively. So what I would like to see, a good sign would be if Brent Shamalia, if I'm calling his name right, the kicker, if he's just drilling a bunch of 55-yard field goals right down the middle, because I think they're going to need that.
Hitting extra points is key too. From some of the stuff I've heard over there, they've had some issues even hitting extra points. So hitting kicks.
Yeah,
good sign.
You guys have mentioned it in terms of a bad sign, tackling, because if this team has any shot of being in games against good teams, it's got to be on the defense, because I think they still have issues on the offense. And to me, it's the lines of scrimmage, the offensive and defensive lines. You're going to see good on one side, good on the other. What if Darrell Taylor gets off for 3 sacks? What does that say about your tackles? So I think it's going to be a missed bag one way or the other, but I'd rather have the defense there.
You and Bob, defense.
Well, here would be a good sign that I would be looking for. Do both sides of the ball look comfortable? And by that, I mean this. Not a lot of penalties, not a lot of delays, not a lot of busts,
right.
Not a lot of coaches looking like they're first-time coaches.
Right.
If you come out of there and it looks like a somewhat clean game, it's a spring game with a young team with a bunch of new coaches. So I'm guessing it probably won't be. But if that is a clean game or a semi-clean game, I'll take that as a very positive sign, because I think it's going to show that you've gotten some of the system. They've
And
absorbed
going
some
to
of
an
the system.
individual player, a positive sign I think would be Garantano making quicker decisions than he did last year. Instead of I drop back, nothing's there, I run, I throw it out of bounds, something like that. Doesn't have to necessarily be a bunch of completions. Doesn't have to be down the field passes. It could be checkdowns. But see how much has he improved if he can make a quick decision, make his reads.
Yeah, I think the good signs, a lot of them you could look at Garantano, because he needs to improve in a lot of areas.
All right, and we'll talk about that a little bit later in the show. We're going to have a whole segment on Mr. Garantano and whether or not he has done enough this spring. He had a big opportunity to kind of get a leg up on the competition before Keller Christ arrives. Has he done enough to give himself a big lead in the quarterback race? But up next, and we got football all day long, but up next I want to do a little rapid fire talk. We're going to talk a Pruitt-Dooley comparison. That might scare you. Spring game attendance, will that tell us anything? And then we'll get these guys' thoughts on the orange and white game based on a poll when you guys told me what you thought about the orange and white game. Come on back.